Okay. Hi, everybody. Let me just make sure I'm connected. And let me just make sure I can hear you guys. You guys can hear me. And I gotta remember to look right here and not like at the actual camera. So let me just make sure you guys can hear me. We have a fun topic today. I've been meaning to do this topic for a while. And then life got away from me, you guys. Blah. So I'm really committed to being more consistent on this channel. So let's see, can you hear me? Perfect. Okay, so today's topic is, why are successful women overweight? Why do successful women have such a hard time losing weight? And this is something that I've been wanting to talk to for a long time, because that is who I work with. I work with women who are overachievers, high achieving women, perfectionists, women who have advanced degrees, women who are pretty much successful and organized in every single area of their life, but their fitness. And I can't remember, but there's a rule that says, there's always one thing that's kind of out of balance when you're like an extreme person. And this kind of fits that model. So I wrote down some reasons why I think it's so hard for women who are successful to lose weight and for them to keep it off, and why they have a hard time, like just on a physical level, losing weight, because there are some physiological things that happen when you are a high achiever. Okay, so for reference, you guys, I've worked since I was 14 years old. I've worked at least 2 jobs. I built up a 6-figure business on my own. I was also a teacher for 12 years. I was in athletics. I was an athletics administrator. I've taught high school, middle school, and elementary school. I have 3 teaching credentials and a master's degree. So like high definition of that. So I want to just speak to my corporate girlies. I want to speak to the women who are who seem to have figured everything else out, but weight loss seems to be the thing that they struggle with. So the first thing that I wrote down, which seems to be the most obvious, is high stress levels. So inevitably, when you're successful, you tend to be in more high pressure situations, because the more successful you are, the more opportunities and the more responsibility that you have. And because of this, your body is taking on a lot emotionally. You are in lots of high cortisol, high stress situations. When cortisol is high, it is really hard for your body to burn fat. So this is both acute stress and then chronic stress. So a lot of high achieving women are experiencing acute stress on a daily basis. So they wake up, they got to go to work, they got all these decisions to make, they're under pressure for this assignment, and they get home and they're still working, and that's chronic. So they have acute, like right in the moment stress, and chronic stress. So their cortisol levels are elevated for weeks, months at a time. When your cortisol is elevated, it is very hard. It's a stress hormone. That's what cortisol is. It's really hard for your body to release fat. Okay, the last thing your body wants to do is do the other things, like the normal body processes that it needs to do to survive. This is why women who are in high stress situations often do not have their period, or their cycles are irregular, because your body goes, hold the phone, hold the phone. A tiger is chasing us every single day. I do not want to have a child. I do not need to have a period. Hold the phone. We are under stress all the time. I don't know when the next time I'm going to eat is. So let's hold the fat, right? So because a lot of women in these high pressure and advanced career situations are under a lot of pressure, it's really hard. Chronic stress levels have also been associated with increased appetite. So when you're stressed, most people have 2 responses. Either they don't eat at all, which is also bad and leads to weight gain, or they stress eat. And it usually happens around the abdomen. So whenever a woman comes to me and she's got this like pregnant belly, but she's not pregnant, then I know that it's a stress issue. So we have to work, before anything, we have to work on stress management. And this is where, like with high achieving women, it's really challenging, because there is this underlying belief that if I don't keep doing what I've been doing, I'm not going to continue to be successful, which is a myth. And I'm going to insert like a little opinion here. Um, One thing when I started my business, someone told me was like, look at how white men run their businesses. At some point, they stop being like 100% balls to the wall, I guess, is for a not lack of a better phrase. They stop being so invested in their business in the way of, oh, I've got to spend every waking hour on this business. They don't do that. At some point, they step back and they start to enjoy the fruits of their labor. And it's really hard, I think, for women because we are in this energy of proving ourselves to people and needing to show what our value. And we will do so at the expense of our health. So it's really tough because if you feel like you can't stop working, which is what most women feel like that, and they're like, they look at me and they go, well, you run your own business, so you don't know. I work in corporate America. People actually respect you more when you have boundaries, because here's the thing. Overachievers are already doing too much. They're already doing more than necessary. So let's say they're doing 150%. If they back down to 100, that's still better than what most people are doing. And so understanding those percentages and understanding that extra 50% that you're giving to your job, you should really be giving to yourself, because at the end of the day, when you have fibroids and chronic headaches and you can't sleep and insomnia and high blood pressure, your job does not care. They don't. They'll put you on leave and hire someone else. Okay. Number 2, a lot of high achieving women have a perfectionist mindset. And it's great. It works really well for them in their job. Doesn't really work that well in weight loss. So one of the things that I work with my clients on is changing their mindset around food and exercise. The great news is your body is not a machine in the sense that it needs to have perfect things for it to work. Your body is pretty smart. And so if you just start to steer yourself in the right direction, it will follow along. For example, a lot of women believe that if I don't exercise every day and I'm not on this 1,500 calorie or 1,000 calorie diet, I won't lose weight. No. If you just start like walking 30 minutes a day and you start swapping out one of your fast food meals for a salad with protein and some sourdough bread, or you swap out one of your meals with a, let's say teriyaki turkey and rice bowl with some veggies, you will notice a difference, because your body doesn't need perfection. It needs consistency. And a lot of perfectionists will set these unrealistic goals. And then when they don't see results, they quit. Because a lot of times, you guys, in business or even just in work, we have a set time frame, right? It's like 4 weeks to get this project done. So you throw yourself into the ground for this project, and then you hand it over to your boss and they praise you for it and you get that instant gratification. And unfortunately, with weight loss, especially if you've been overweight for a long time, it doesn't work that way. You actually have to give it 8 weeks, 12 weeks to work. So all of that all or nothing thinking and not seeing immediate results and being discouraged very easily, it's hard for you to maintain consistency. And the irony is like a lot of high achieving women have persevered through a lot of things. But for some reason, when it comes to weight loss, if they don't see immediate success, they give up, which doesn't really match with what they've done their whole lives, right? So our whole lives, we've been like, your degree took 4 years, then your master's degree or law degree took another 3 years, right? And so you were willing to wait 3 years for a degree, but you were not willing to wait 6 months for your body to kind of catch up and start to lose weight. So it can be really, really challenging for successful women if they have a perfectionist mindset. And that is something that I work on with my clients. By the way, my app is out. And so if you're interested in just getting a little bit of a nugget, you want to see what being one of my clients is like, you can go ahead and download my app. It's called Fit and Flourishing in the App Store. You can download the basic plan or one of the other premium plans, and you will get a coaching call with me as well as a workout plan. And every day I send out tips and guidance and support. So if you need something, you just message me on the app and I will be right there to support you. So that's something that I offer to anybody and everybody, so that I can help support women. That's one of my goals, is to support high achieving women in their fitness goals. Okay, number 3, lack of time. And this is a genuine lack of time. When you're a high achieving woman, you are simply in meetings, you're doing this, you have projects, you have that. And I understand that. I used to be that coach who was like, everybody has the same 24 hours in a day. Like, yes, but when you're in different ranks in your career and in your job, you do have time that is protected, that you need to be doing your, you need to be engaging with your career, right? So what is my response to this? Well, number one, if you're that successful, hire a meal prep company. Because one of the things that happens when people are busy is they forget to eat, not realizing that if you consistently eat the right things, you can actually lose weight without exercising. Because the other thing that you will be told is like, you got to make time, which is true. But that idea of making time, it takes time for a woman or a high achieving person in general to accept that, right? So sometimes I can't just walk up to a client and be like, you need to make time, right? I understand the mental process. Like if you would have told me at the height of my career that I needed to make time, I would have been like, bye, you don't understand me, you don't get me. So what I'm saying is if you have money, then you should be able to purchase meals that taste good, that are high protein, moderate fat, tons of fruits and vegetables that are great for you, that you can eat, that are in your macronutrient range, that you can eat daily and continue to provide yourself with nutrients. Because if you skip meals, what happens is your body will start to hold on to fat because it goes, this lady's not going to feed me. You'll lose weight for a little bit and then the weight will pile back on. So skipping meals is a big part of weight loss that high achieving women struggle with. And so I'm never going to be like, oh, you need to make time for something until you have bought into the idea that your fitness and health is more important than your job. I'm never going to tell you to make time for a workout, right? Because you have to first believe that it is worth it. If you believe that your life is going to crumble because you decide to take an extra hour out of your day and skip something or to lose weight, then we need to not go there. We need to first work on your mindset and first work on getting you some high quality food that you can order, right? Order from a company and then use that to support you in your health and fitness goals. Okay, number 4, emotional eating is probably the biggest problem that I see with high achieving women. And let me tell you all why. A lot of high achieving women have been trained to ignore their emotions. And to a degree, you have to do that, okay? From one high achieving woman to another, there is a point in which you have to learn how to shut off emotions because sometimes you just got to get the job done. The problem is if you don't know how to turn those emotions back on, you will end up eating those emotions when they come back up. Because inevitably what happens is you get finished with your workday, you come home, all of the anxiety, the anger, the things that happen at work come flooding back to you and you eat your feelings. Because no one ever taught you how to process the stress. No one ever taught you how to process your emotions. So it is critical if you're a high achieving woman to learn how to deal with your emotions and learn how to deal with life that does not involve food. Emotional eating is an easy coping mechanism for a lot of women. Hi, been there, done that, you guys. I have a whole course called How to Stop Emotionally Eating. It's not even a course, it's like a master class. Hold on one second. Ooh. Oh, okay, sit, leave it. Huh?
Can you sign for this?
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Sorry, guys. My you guys are like, where'd she go? My husband's magic mouse came in. Okay, so what was I talking about? Oh, emotional eating. So yeah, a lot of women who are high achievers were also raised in environments where they were praised for doing well, and they were praised for being able to push through and not feel things. And they grew up in environments probably where success was valued more than like their humanity. So when you are not told that your humanity matters or that your emotions matter, yeah, you just end up eating your food, eating your feelings. So that is a big thing that I see with my high achieving clients, is this turn to emotional eating instead of healthy coping mechanisms. And in my emotional eating masterclass, which is linked in my description box, I talk about different ways to manage your emotions and different ways to kind of support yourself when you're going through a stressful time. And please understand that that is probably the cornerstone of why high achieving women are overweight, is most of them are emotional eaters. And that's a process that takes a long time. And it's really helpful to have a coach to walk you through that, and to, a non-judgmental party to say, hey, I've been there, I know what this is like, and, walk you through that. Okay, number 5, self-criticism. Perfectionist women tend to be super critical of themselves, and what they end up doing is, like, they have used their self-criticism to get them to a lot of places, high places with their job, with their careers. But that doesn't work for weight loss. For weight loss, you actually need to be super positive, because with your career, there's a monetary gain that you see pretty immediately. With weight loss, a lot of the stuff comes delayed. And so you have to encourage yourself to keep going, even though you don't want to. And what people don't realize is that the negative self-talk actually ends up undermining their motivation, and they end up doing this cycle of binge restrict. Like, in my emotional eating course, I talk about the fact that after you have a binge, which is you eat a ton of, you eat 5 pounds of cookies or whatever, right? Or 10 donuts. The first thing women do is, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym and I'm gonna work this off because you're an idiot. You shouldn't have done that. Your body actually gets addicted to that shame and gets addicted to that criticism, right? So you end up recycling that moment over and over so you can feel that addiction, that shame. And people get addicted to the weight loss, like the up and down. So there's just so much involved with that. But if you can learn to have compassion with yourself, and this goes very deep, because a lot of people who are higher achievers never got compassion from anybody, and they won't give it to themselves, not realizing that that very compassion is actually what you need in order to be successful with your weight loss goals. You are more likely to succeed with compassion than you are with criticism. Okay? So if you are an overachieving woman, just know that changing is not just about diet, right? It's not just about dietary factors, but it's also about developing healthy coping mechanisms for your stress. It's about having realistic goals, understanding where are you in life right now, and then what do you need to do to actually get to where you want to go. It also requires a huge amount of grace that you normally wouldn't give yourself and probably wouldn't give other people. But you have to give yourself an inordinate amount of grace to be successful, because you will make mistakes. And that's like the hardest thing, I think, for women who are overachievers, is we don't like making mistakes. But you have to understand, part of the fitness journey is falling off the wagon and getting back on. That is literally how people succeed, is they get off the wagon and they go right back on, and learning how to go through and get on the wagon, get off, fall off and get back on, fall off and get back on, because that is fitness. That is fitness and health. That is a cornerstone of being successful. So anyway, you guys, I have tons of resources. I will link some of them in the chat. The first one is my Change Your Food Mindset. It's literally like, I have 40 students have gone through that course and they love it. So let me post it here for you guys. Switch account. I also have my online coaching that I do through my app, and it's the Fit and Flourishing app. And so I will post that here in my chat here for you guys. And so I will post that here. So here is the emotional eating masterclass. And for my fitness coaching app, you can type Fit and Flourishing in the App Store. Or if you have Android, and one more thing. I have a confidence course that is focused on overcoming doubt, fear, low self-esteem, releasing the bondage of other people's opinions, living a confident, healthy life. And I will go ahead and link that here. And so you guys can go ahead and grab that. It is just $59.99 right now. And it's got prompts, it's got video lessons. It's actually one of my, it was like one of the first courses I created, and I actually absolutely love it. So let me type that here. And of course, if you guys have any questions, do not forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And you guys can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is Joanna Joy. Let me type it in the chat as well. _ and you guys can follow me on Instagram there. I'm not as active, but I do post on my stories, so you guys can see what I'm up to there. And yes, thanks you guys for hanging out with me. If you guys found this video to be really helpful, please say something. Let me know if you like this content. If you want me to talk more about any of the things that I put in here, let me know. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.